Oh, I read it.
All right. And just again, like last time, if somebody doesn't mind, if they have it available there, I am pulling up our channel just to make sure that
Yeah, I've got the link. It says live. Anyways, we're live
yeah,
on everything.
perfect. So I know we dropped out last time for some strange reason, but all right. So bring you guys back here.
Good. I'm here. Sorry.
And the agenda. All right, guys. So moving forward, there's no disclosure of pecuniary interests and no delegation. So let's move on to the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review last meeting's June 10th minutes?
Yep.
Questions, concerns?
Do we need to do attendance? Since now we're live.
Sorry, yeah, I kind of did that when we started the official meeting. Because technically we had to call the meeting to order anyway. So I have the meeting called to order for 6:03 p.m. with all of us.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Sorry guys, so minutes, questions, concerns, changes, otherwise motion to approve. Brian, thank you. Seconded.
Second.
Joe, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Carrie.
Aye.
Thanks, guys. All right, moving on to reports. For myself. Few things I wanted to just bring up in my report. We handled a few things there prior in camera. But I did want to just mention, I'll follow up. Paula, I don't think we've heard anything back from Laura on the town, on the COVID reopening plan, have we? And council, have you heard anything on that at all?
No, I haven't gotten any feedback yet from Laura.
Okay, I assume that means it's I guess it's good to go, but I'll follow up tomorrow morning with an email just to make sure. I think the office is back open. We should have that signed and rolling.
I haven't heard or seen anything. Andrew, have you? Oh, you're on mute. Can't hear you. You're on mute.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Hi. Just for clarity, it's about town hall reopening, or is it something else reopening?
No, so it was the plan we sent the board. Oh, geez. For last meeting, I think we would have reviewed it. And it was just the BIA's reopening plan for our office. So it was suggested by Brian that we forward it to the town just for review. But if I'm not mistaken, Brian, you did say you didn't think there'd be much concern there. It was just to kind of.
Yeah, it was just the COVID policy or the workplace safe policy, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I mean, I haven't seen anything. You know, I know the clerk's busy, so she likely has it, but I can follow up.
Yeah, if you'd like to, I'll send an email tomorrow anyways, following up too. Just because again, if we have the plan and Paul is back in the office, I think we should make sure that we're moving forward and with those policies and procedures. Outside of that, a few things I want to speak to, I'll get to in some of the other committees. So from there, Treasurer's report, Mr. Bastani.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So this report is for the month ending June 30th. Everybody has a copy of it or is aware of it. The operating account stood at $81,502.93. We had outstanding checks of $3,039.60. I don't have a copy of that, but Paula, you probably do. The outstanding amounts, outstanding checks, I should say. Our BIA ledger balance.
It's on the second tab with the month end spreadsheet.
Okay, well, I'm not going to look for it, but you guys probably have it there. So the BIA ledger balance stood at $78,463.33. Our reserve account was $35,524.47. less bank charges plus interest, brought it to 35,554.10, be in the reserve account. The share cap, WFCU share capital patronage shares, 85.60 and 10. Petty cash stood at 510. Deposit clearing of 528. The square charge of 77.88. Prepaid expenses and deposits of 333.27. Gave us current assets of 117,621.58. Before I go any further, Paula, on the second quarter levy of 36,750, is that included in the 117,621?
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right, just for clarification. Tecumseh dollars current outstanding of $6,685. Our BIA liabilities and equity of 110,936.58. The total of liabilities and equity of 117,621.58. And you'll see second quarter levy was deposited of $36,750. Current levy is $66,000 received. Questions, comments, concerns?
I have a question to ask the board. Typically, at this time every year, I ask the board if you want to transfer X amount of dollars from the operating account to the reserve account. Because as you can see, we've got 81,000. And really all we need in the operating account is about 25–30% of the balance.
So there's real no need to even leave that amount of money in the operating, right?
Do we earn interest on the reserve account?
Yes, we do, Mike.
Oh, okay. Well, we
Yeah.
should only have in the operating account the bare minimum, really. Then, you know,
Agreed.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So even if you left, even if you took 30, 25, 30, you could realistically, you could take 50 out of the operating and put it in reserve.
what's our cash outflow like, Paula, every month, roughly, approximately?
I mean, 20,000
A
is
month?
plenty. Yes.
Oh, 20.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you want to keep a month or two in there, I guess, at most. That's all.
Yeah. I
Right?
mean,
So-
typically we leave 25% of our balance.
All right.
That's 20,000. So even if you left 30,000 in the operating, leave 30 and put the rest in reserve.
Mhm.
I think 30 gives you enough to have enough in the account should something come up, but we're the ones that make the decision. So
Yeah. I mean, if we're not going to have 30,000 in expense, say in the next 4 to 6 weeks, we should keep less in there.
Yeah. I was just going to suggest we just we make the decision to keep 25% of the balance in there, whatever. But if we want to say 30, that's,
well, that's seven. Okay, hang on a minute. So really it's 78,000 after the outstanding checks come out.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
78,000 times 25%, that's 19,500.
Well, I don't know if we should have a percent threshold. Shouldn't we say we keep, say, 20 or 25,000
Yeah.
in the operating account, and that's it? Everything gets pushed over to automatically to the reserve account?
and
I'd
we
be
can
more
always,
comfortable.
if something happened, it's just in our reserve account. It's not as if the funds aren't accessible to us, but yeah, I'm good with that.
Right. This really isn't like a big board level decision. This is more of an operating
No.
decision.
That's
So,
right.
I mean, I'd say keep in just what we need for the next 4 to 6 weeks, 8 weeks at most. Put the rest in the reserve account.
Do
Is
we
this
have
a
to make
decision we should make just moving? I mean, it doesn't mean you have to make transfers all the time, but should the coordinator just be, once we get to a certain point, let's get that back down to the, 20 grand,
Yeah.
should we just come up with something that's kind of a permanent structure to always?
Yes, it shouldn't be something that we discuss every month. I mean,
And we don't, it's usually an annual discussion, and that's how we end up getting $80,000 in the bank account, right? So,
now the
okay, well,
reserve-
first, can we first get a motion before we get away from it on the minutes? I'm sorry, on the treasurer's report. Let's, Linda, thank you. Second. Brian, great, all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
You. Okay, and then yeah, what's that motion that there should,
Well, we'll make a motion to transfer money from the operating to the reserve, but my question is, when it goes into the reserve, we're supposed to earmark it, right?
part of what, so I want to discuss some things I want to chat with but you're right, if it goes in, I guess, no, I don't think so, as long as reserved money is earmarked. So I don't think if we make that transfer that we have to necessarily then decide at that moment what it's going to be used for. But again, part of what I want to talk about today is starting to use some of that money, because we've got to come up with some plans for it, and had a few in mind.
So are we
But I
moving
could be
the money?
wrong. I don't know if we need to special, if every transfer then needs to have an earmark, or if the account itself can.
If you're
Just,
talking purely, these are
I
just
mean, at
bank
the end
accounts.
of the year, the board makes a decision on what they want to do with the surplus of funds.
Yeah, but if
That's
we're
right, so
talking
it's
right
okay
now
to just-
about bank accounts, that shouldn't be, there's no grand decision to be made. They're bank accounts. We have a non-interest bearing and an interest bearing. Minimal amount of cash flow for operations, which is you, Paula. Keep that in the non-interest bearing account that you got to pay that are current coming due in the next few weeks, whatever. The rest you put over to the.
Yeah, because I don't think it's that I don't think it's that it's the reserved money per se, Paul. I think it's just a matter of, we're not supposed to be sitting on all kinds of money. We're nonprofit, so any money we're sitting on ever needs to be accounted for, needs to have a plan for, needs to have a vision, rather than us just sitting on all that money. So I'm kind of with Mike. I think it's fine just to transfer it, and yeah, we've just got to start making some plans for.
To spend it, yeah. Which we have a
Okay.
budget. We have a plan to spend it, the budget, but obviously the pandemic has changed that. So
That's right. That's right.
And I'm just asking because each board has done this differently. So that's why I'm asking.
Yeah. So then let's make that motion. What does that look like? That we just keep 20
Yeah,
grand in the,
That amount, yeah, 25,000 probably, no, just,
what I think whatever, since we're not the day-to-day people, whatever the director or whatever the Paul's your position's called, whatever you feel that person, that position feels is necessary. It's an operating issue.
that's
It's
right,
not
it can
about reserving
change.
money. It's just about, hey, let's earn some interest versus not interest. They're bank accounts.
Yeah, you're,
yeah, I understand that, but everything that we earmarked, right? Don't forget.
isn't
for
earmarked.
COVID, everything we already discussed is before COVID. So we're gonna have to discuss we don't have those expenses anymore when it comes to any events or anything. So you just come up with a number. Because if you say, okay, operating expense, okay, if it's 5,000 a month, then just keep $5,000 a month in there. So either decide a set amount, or you're just gonna give total reign to the coordinator.
I'm kind of with Mike here now that I'm thinking of it. They're just bank accounts. So the coordinator only has so much reign to spend without any decision has to be made by motion. So it really doesn't matter. The problem isn't what bank account it's sitting in. It's that we have money. So I think either way, it doesn't matter. I kind of agree with Mike. I'm not sure if we need that. It's just if we keep that money there, it's no different what account it's in. But we do have to be accountable for it.
Is Paula comfortable with leaving the balance as 25,000 and then transfer the rest over into reserve? Is that workable?
That's more than
Yeah.
enough.
So
And
let's
then-
just,
More than enough.
How about every time we get more than 25,000 in our one account, we just automatically transfer it over into the reserve?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
yeah, and I don't think it needs a motion. That might change. If something happens
Yeah.
next week that now we need less or more, and that's managed by our coordinator, then I
Okay.
think I agree.
Okay.
Are we all on the same page there?
Yep. Yep.
Cool.
Well, I am, but I wouldn't want to have the coordinator have free range on transferring in and out, because we might have a surprise.
What do you, well, they don't have free range of transferring in and out of our bank accounts. They only have range, the coordinator can only transfer within our accounts. It's not like,
Oh, that's what I mean, like, okay, no, forget it.
And just one thing to keep in mind, the only time we do get, cash in there is 4 times a year, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
So
it's
it's not-
about managing that account. So that is one thing that, we'll have to do, is making sure that account is managed and that money is being transferred when and if needed.
Well, you're going to see that every month end on the financial report.
Yep.
So why don't we just move 50,000? Keep it simple. Move 50,000 and you still got a balance of 28, which Paula says is plenty.
Yeah, sure. If that's the recommendation we want to make at this time, but yeah, I don't think we need to necessarily, I don't think there needs to be a
Okay.
set amount.
Okay, well then I'm going to recommend as a treasurer that we move 50,000 from the operating to the reserve.
Okay.
All right, I'll second that.
Oh, sorry. Everybody good with that?
Yep, I
Okay.
am.
All in favor?
I,
Carried.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Paula.
Okay, I think everybody's gotten a copy of my report. Are there any questions? I did call Windsor Rock Gym, which we gave a deposit back in 2019. They will give us a refund, $295 that they're holding. So again, we can use used, whether it's for the BIA or maybe even town of Tecumseh.
Okay.
So I have that noted.
Spitfire Firkin wasn't ours, was it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is?
Oh,
Closed. They're just it's the same owner. They're just remodeling inside.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think the Firkin was us.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the sign's down and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on, if there's no other questions for Paula. Council report.
Okay, town council has met, just wanted to take a look, see when we last met. We last met on the 10th, so you would have gotten the report about the 9th. So we've only met once since that point. That was June 23rd. So a couple of the highlights were that, let's see what we got here. There've been some complaints about noise caused by vehicles with modified mufflers throughout the municipality. And so consideration was given towards how to best regulate that issue. Highway Traffic Act was found to be the best way to enforce. And so that's the direction that the town carried through with. The holiday schedule for 2021 was adopted. So as is customary, the week between Christmas Eve and the Monday after New Year's Day is going to result in a total closure of town hall services. So just be aware so it's still a year and change to go. That's for 2021, 2020. I mean, that decision was made earlier, but the same thing will happen. Town council approved the new temporary outdoor patio guidelines. So there's a specific bylaw that has been passed to allow for the patios to exist. Just by driving through the town, looks like they're pretty popular. There have been a lot of applications, and certainly the staff have advised me that there was a lot of interest in taking advantage of the temporary outdoor patio guidelines. And further, this isn't under the control of the town. However, we did support asking the AGCO to allow the extension of existing liquor licenses to these temporary patios, which I'm not sure if those have been granted, but if evidence shows, it looks like it may have been. Some good news on the provincial offenses revenues. We did notice an increase year to year. So we budgeted 120,000, 143,867 was the revenue for 2019. So that's good news. It's going back in the right direction after many years of reductions. The town is looking for, or will be looking for, a concessionaire for the Lakewood Park. There's the building that was formerly occupied by the Lakewood Cafe. Lakewood Cafe elected not to renew their lease. And so that is going to be put out in a request for proposals. And not just the front part of the building, but the entirety of the building. That does change some of the economics of it because there's additional taxation involved with that increased space. But that RFP will be going out, and ideally there will be some local businesses that will bid on occupying that space. Summer recreation programming was canceled. Unfortunately, that includes all day camps and swimming lessons and closure of the Tecumseh outdoor pool. The large rationale for that is undoubtedly that not only are there strict social distancing and health guidelines to follow for operating a pool, they're just not possible to achieve without a totally offside business case where you are spending a great deal of money for very little benefit. So a town council elected not to open the pool this year, but there remains an interest in offering alternative types of programming for the community. And so one of those being the new splash pad at McAuliffe Park, which should be coming online during the summer, and provide that the province allows for their opening, that should open at some point this month. The town council also awarded a paving contract for with Cocoa Paving, mostly residential streets, but just throughout the town, and the closest to the, actually, no, none of them are in the business district, but basically they're they are within, some are within the BIA proper: Pentilly, Beach Grove, St. Thomas, and yeah, Tallthorpe and Wellwood, which are in St. Clair Beach.
Wait, sorry, Andrew. Pentilly's being repaved?
From Beach Grove north to the cul-de-sac, not the rest of it.
Still, there's worse roads. Okay, sorry, that's it. Sorry to interrupt.
Yep. And also Tarnship tender was awarded, and Tarnship is usually used on the rural concessions, and also for various just various repairs. So that it was a relatively short meeting, so that sums it up, and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you,
Okay.
Andrew.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on, committee reports. We'll get started with the marketing committee. So we got how did you get a chance to pick up the signage, Paula? How's it look?
Yeah, they look really good. They're heavy corrugated, or the
That chloroplast?
coroplast. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
I
good.
haven't gotten any calls yet, but
Yeah, we sent it out. The Facebook didn't get much too, but I'm hoping we'll continue to push that and talk to our members, and that's why we ordered a small amount. So make sure you talk to folks, and if they need those signs, we've got them available for them now. Freebie Fridays is working out pretty nice. I don't think I've seen so much activity on our page, which is really cool. So for those that are sharing and kind of participating in that, thank you for your support. They've been going well. And again, because our page, don't be afraid to stay posted on our socials and help share stuff, because we're kind of moving in that direction to have more Tecumseh dollars and promote our members, and using our page in a different way than we kind of have in the past. Getting out to people is important, so don't forget to share the page as well. And those shares are important too, guys. And then something else we were talking about, Paul and I, it's something that the Essex BIA is doing for their membership, and they're offering grants. I don't know, I thought it might be something we can talk about, because we do have a decent chunk of money, and it doesn't mean, I think they maxed out at 20, and I think they were doing $1,000 grants or two? What were they? What were their denominations, Paula?
They were $1,000 to the first 20 members. The Essex didn't give any money towards it. Well, they gave a little
Yeah.
bit. The majority of it came from the town of Essex. They had some additional money over that wasn't going to be used because of COVID this year. So the town is what the majority of that $1,000 was from. And then the Windsor Essex Small Business Center, they didn't put any money towards it. They just kind of helped them, the members, if they wanted any help with their on-site, setup for online shopping or updating their websites.
I don't know what the board's thoughts are on something like that. It doesn't have to be as in depth. I'm not sure if the town's gonna support something like that, but we have funds, and even if, I don't know, I'm just throwing some stuff around. If we said 10 grand at 500, I don't know, we've thrown around the idea of how can we help our members during this time. We've talked about creating accounts for marketing and different things, but one of the things we've hit on the head is that everybody has different needs. And it's very difficult to figure out what people need, but if we did look at something like a funded grant, they can use it for what they need. If it's paying bills, helping to pay a rent for the month, whether it's ordering PPE or signage. I know, 500, we've spoke to it before, what's a little bit of money, but use it towards whatever you need. And again, we are sitting on some funds and unable to foresee how, some of the areas we might be able to use that. We don't have events coming in the near future at this point. Doesn't mean that we just go spending, but I thought it could be a unique idea for us. And I don't know what your thoughts are.
Has anybody approached us? No?
No, I think we heard a lot more, and I could be wrong, Paul. I think we heard a lot more from our members when they were really suffering right away. And looking for that, we had heard from them about financial support,
Yeah, I had received some phone calls from a couple of the members asking if we were going to be able to donate for signage or whatever, right? Advertising, whatever, for them to help reopen.
So, and I think at the beginning too, right, when everything was happening, we were hearing, people looking for fund. I don't know. It's just, again, it's a concept. We ordered the signs. Let's see how that goes. They're only going to work for so many people. I think it was the right decision to get a small amount and then see where that goes. Do we think this is something that our members, I would say yes, I would think so, because it's cash. So it would be, it's much different. I think they could really utilize that. But do you just go the first 10 or 20 members at 5? I don't know. I wouldn't know the right strategy and whether we feel that's fair to such a large membership.
I kind of get the behind and the reasoning for putting a program together like this, but the only challenge I think with it is like you've just said, Candace, right? Do you give it to the first 10 or 20 people, right? And it's really the business owners' funds. To do it fairly, I think is a challenge. Is it some sort of grant program that we put together? I don't know what the right program or solution would be, but it's obvious that we're going to have some funds left over. So, one thing might be just, keeping that in the bank. And if there is, 30,000 or 40,000 left over, you can put it towards next year's, levy, right? So that it's fair, it's equitable. Everybody were to get the rebate in next year's levy. Unfortunately, you can't just return it all or turn the dial back, right? Because we do these budgets early. But I mean, it's just a thought, right? Rather than try to figure out how we're going to put a program together, how is it going to be fair? What are we going to do? Maybe it's just reducing the levy next year and using it that way. But I mean, that's just something that came to mind with this conversation we're having right now.
Yeah, not a bad idea. I appreciate that, because ideas are exactly what we need. Again, we need to have our conversation about what we want to do with that stuff. And the difficult part is the unforeseeable future, right? It's very tough for us to plan moving forward when we don't know what the plan is right now. And at the same time, I don't want to blow through a ton of money and just trying to give back right now, only for us to maybe have to come and help our membership out again in the future. This is still so new. But again, I liked the idea. I wasn't sure how something else. Is there any other feedback?
I like the idea of having PPEs available for our members. If we bought up, a couple cases of hand sanitizers or the disposable masks and had those available for them, or even just, hit a plaza at a time and see if they wanted them.
Yeah, I like that idea, Linda. I think that's great. Especially
Okay.
the disposable mask. I think it's
Yeah. I mean, we've got the money. We can probably find a place that, the large,
Costco is selling big boxes of them. I bought some there.
where?
Costco has
Costco.
masks. I bought
Okay.
masks from Costco recently.
Yeah, and I know, Paula, you got the ones at Monarch, I think, for the office. Maybe we can talk to them and get some and then just start one little plaza at a time and offer it to them.
I think that's a great idea.
Yes.
That's something we can start doing right away, and that can help everyone. So
I can certainly help with that.
maybe we can look into, Paula, some hand sanitizer and masks, get some quotes on large volume.
Yeah,
Because the other thing is, I'm thinking on the for both of these, but especially the masks, I think it might help businesses to try to push that. I think businesses are in a tough point when somebody comes to their door without a mask, whether they send them away or not. But you know what? There's an opportunity to put one on. I think that's helpful for our members if they can have some extra. I know lots of businesses doing that. So I'd love to look at some large volume of that stuff.
yeah, okay.
I agree. Any other thoughts on either that grant program or ideas or stuff like this? We welcome it, guys. If something comes up later tonight, tomorrow, a week from now, you see something another business is doing, share it. I really think with the traction we're getting from Come See Dollars, different stuff that we're doing for our members, the more we can kind of continue to showcase what we can do and be a resource and continue to help our membership. What a great time for them to learn who we are and what we do, because we're actually doing stuff. And then distribution of that. Yeah, let's see what happens.
Yep.
Do we want to, I'd like this to move pretty quick, guys. Do we want to delegate this and a budget towards it so that this can move before? Would we count, what budget would this perhaps even fall under? What are we thinking? This would come out of what? Marketing? I mean, would we move?
Probably be under marketing.
I think it'd be marketing.
I mean, it's a different kind of, but I think I agree. We're not doing a lot of that traditional stuff.
Why don't can we set aside, say, $1,000 and we'll just see what we get for our money? Maybe we can work out a deal with, probably not Costco, but maybe with Monarch if we're buying in bulk.
What do we have, Paula? Do you mind looking what's left right now under marketing?
Well, we also have the.
That's what what we're going to go through next is actual versus budget. But under promo materials, we have 1,500. And
sorry?
Under advertising and marketing, the whole account was 15,000. Current actual is 2,700.
Okay, and what did you say? Promo supplies?
Yeah, but we've kind of used all that. We're at 5049 right
How
now.
about, can we reallocate the Corn Festival and parade money, $1,000? Since there's no Corn Fest this year.
Well, and all we would do is just put under advertising, promo, additional monies. At the end of the year, we'll just acknowledge that we use this money. We're not under or over budget. We just use this money for our members.
If you guys remember, we discussed this when we looked at whether we should reallocate monies and stuff at the budget. And we said, as long as we're annual, my concern was more so not having to come back to the board for motions on things that we're just going to move on. It sounds as though that we have that in budget for advertising and marketing. So marketing committee will keep you posted as to what we're doing there, but we'll, obviously be reasonable, stay within budget, and keep you posted. We'll move on sanitizers and masks.
Good.
Okay.
Like it. Good.
Yeah, good idea. Excellent idea.
Okay. I think the only other committee we have to speak to right now, what else am I missing, Paula, would be Tecumseh Dollars?
Yeah, the membership committee. So I think everybody, you've reviewed the Tecumseh Dollar Report for June.
Yeah.
And I've also listed what the donations were for the month of June. So it was the banner contest and then the one Facebook freebie.
Yep.
I just wanted to let everybody know that as of today, my current inventory for Tecumseh Dollars to sell is 7,925.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so that's. all
Geez,
that
when did
have
we
left
just
to
print?
sell. Pardon?
We just printed how much?
20,000, and I only have 7,900 left.
Good, keep her going.
You need a printing press in the basement.
No kidding.
Yeah, Paula, I say that's another one that as long as we're still within the budget of them, let's just order more to print and keep moving, right? Because we've got the budget of where we are annually, what we can sell. So if we run short, send another 20 grand to print.
I just want to bring up that during the month, the question of limit came up again. We're still in agreement that there's no limit to how many times you purchase or how much? Okay, because it came up.
I think so. So far, I mean, at this point, we're not seeing, an issue or someone overbuying, even if it's the same people. Hey, let's take advantage. And again, maybe that's a plan for next year, what we'd have to review, given if the success. But at this point, I say let's just continue as it is. I love that even on Facebook, we've been seeing more messages come in, and I know, Paula, you've had calls, and we see it kind of even tying from the giveaways and stuff. People are at, so.
But even if we had a limit, my point to Paula during the month was, even if we have a limit, say it was a $400 limit before, and then we lifted it because it was an inconvenience for some people, and all they would do is just go out the door and come right back in.
Come back. That's right.
So there's no point, just get it done. I mean, we're there to sell them, so let's just sell them. So I just want to make sure that we're all in agreement that there shouldn't be a limit.
Yep.
Until people start coming in to buy them and we can't offer them anymore and it's too, or it's an issue or someone's, then let's cross that bridge. I think for now we're still just fine. So yeah, I agree, Jules. Anything else for Tecumseh Dollars?
If I can just ask on the report here. So we've got, the total dollar expense, 4114. The budget's 14,000. So we've got that 9,000, which that's the 20% number, correct?
Plus the square fees, right, for debit or credit.
Right. So, but that, just to clarify, we budgeted 14. We're currently sitting at 9. So,
Yes.
We can sell potentially another, say, $50,000 worth of Tecumseh Dollars, and we'll still be in budget, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
So.
25.
Well, hold on. Let me pull this up.
Wait a minute. Let me get my calculator.
Me too.
We're-
Hold on. Plus,
20%.
don't forget donated. The donated stuff. Is that
So
in
we
with our
don't wanna
totals
mix-
there?
We don't want to mix. I know the report's showing the two together, but we're budgeted to sell 25,000 because the 20% is the 5. That's what we're budgeted to sell. That report is mixing the giveaway.
Well, it
the
has to
charitable
because
stuff.
it still has to though, because
Yeah,
we're still,
because
that's
of
part of the
what we-
budget.
Yeah, but we agreed that we would sell 25 and 5,000 of the budget is allocated towards the 20% that we're discounting. So we're not there yet.
Sure.
Jules, that 4,114 is just the 20% discount plus the square fees. That's it. Like the discount really is $39.54.
right? Plus the square fees is 44114.
Yeah,
So we still have 9886.
yeah, I don't include, what we donate is 5,000, that's separate. I'm not including that.
So when you say dollars sold of 19,420, you take the 20% off, representing 3954 plus the square fee. So far your expenses of 4114 on the 19,420 is
the 20%.
right.
Exactly. So
Right.
9886 is the 20% left. We can sell.
So we can sell still $6,000 because we still have the 20%, because
That's right.
that
Yeah.
that was our 20%. We can't sell another 50,000 because now it's not 50. It's supposed to say another 25. We'd have to boost the budget for selling by another 5.
No, like if we sell 50,000, we're only, it's a round number, right? So
Yeah, so I can get,
but we're only if we sell 50,000, we're only liable for the 20%,
that's right.
Which
which is say
10.
exactly. So 9886, we're almost there. So we can, potentially
Yes.
sell 50,000 or a little less because of square fees, et cetera. But
Exactly.
it's just that number I wanted to understand.
And still stay within budget if we went with 50,000. So
Yep.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about ordering another 20, right, we are, we've got 30 more to go if we order another 20,000.
That's right. Yeah, we're not way over or have to worry about where we're at. So yeah, I think we're still well covered at this point.
That answer
All right.
your concern, Brian?
Yeah, it does. I mean, the only piece that I'd like to, I think we saw it before, but Paula, you likely have the information, but if we're blowing through this, I mean, just interesting information would be, is it all going to like 5 people? Is it, 150 different people who are coming and doing these transactions? It would just, I guess, be some more information for us to see how fast and where these dollars are going in the amounts that they are. So
Yeah, I can send that part of it out. I will tell you that, right, especially since May, Jeannie from Three Lambs are sending her customers. So these are different people that are coming from Windsor, Amherstburg, again, just to buy Tecumseh dollars to save, and then they go to Three Lambs. I mean, like all the money that I sold just in July is already back now. It's already been redeemed.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
excellent. That's
Yeah, so
fantastic.
it's a
'Cause that
very
means
quick
people are being
turnaround,
told, yep.
But yeah, I can send you,
Well,
can send the board a list of all the people who have purchased just from
And-
January.
it's kind of also, it's good and it's not good, because if they're redeeming so quickly, it means they're doing it on purpose. They know about it. Hey, I'm going to shop here anyways. Oh, I'm going to go buy Tecumseh dollars, I'm told, and then go
That's
right.
right.
So really, is it good? No, because it's not bringing new people to Tecumseh or to the shops. I mean, so yeah.
Well, it
Yes
kind
and
of
no,
is,
though.
because
This is bringing new people.
Well, no,
Sorry,
not
Paula.
if they're going because they're told to go, and it's really just a 20% discount for them.
but this is what we wanted. We wanted the business owners to promote the business dollars to encourage them to come shop at their place. So it is working what we wanted to do. It's just like Home Hardware should be doing it. Like they might attract people on the other side of Banwell to come shop there instead of Home Depot.
I get what Mike's saying. If they're already coming there, they're already their customers.
Exactly.
But the goal in that would, of course, be that people spread that word, that people start, that they do share them as a gift, or that they tell their sister-in-law to, hey, go shop there, because guess what? You can also save 20%, or next time a conversation comes up and they said they went to, a competitor, somebody might say, you should really go there. So, but I get what you're saying, Mike. You want it to get out there a little bit more and draw people in rather than the same people constantly. So I don't think it's a bad idea to look at that report.
Yeah. And if we're spending so much money towards this, I think, and this is such a developed program now, then we should be collecting, it's a marketing program, we should be collecting marketing data on it. We should be, when people come to buy it, we should have some, find out how they hear about it. Are they going to spend it personally? Is it for them? Is it a gift? We should get some of this information some, marketing data so we know. I mean, if it, it'll help. We're just guessing now. We're just hoping, and
That's
hoping
right.
not a good
You
way to
know,
spend marketing dollars.
I don't disagree with that. We can start asking. I'm always iffy on stuff like that because people don't, somebody might, you don't necessarily get the real answer all the time, but it's information for sure.
Sure. You get information, you get no answer right now. So
Yep. So even if we can start by seeing that report, kind of get an idea too. But yeah, let's start asking.
I can also,
There's also
I can,
ways
you'll know by where the money is being redeemed.
Yep.
And when I do talk to the customers, I always tell them, wherever you're shopping, well, mostly they are going to Shoppers or Zayres or Tecumseh Home Hardware or Three Lambs.
I mean, there are only so many businesses currently accepting them. So we're going to see some of that and those ones that are really kind of supporting that. But yeah, it'd be nice to see if it's not always the same people and how, seeing that spread, especially now that we're promoting it more. We've got some new sliders and stuff up. We'll want to see if that's working, right? And if it is getting new people or if it's the same 10 people buying all the time. So I think it's worth review.
I also think it's a good idea to learn from what the girl at Three Lambs is doing, because now we can promote her method to the other Tecumseh business owners. Like we can go to Graham's and say, hey, Graham, like, why don't you do what she's doing and get more people to come here and just send them to there beforehand, and you don't have to give a discount. The Tecumseh dollars is, or something like that. We can use that marketing tactic as also the promotion to help our business owners. So
Yes, I don't see that really adding to anything.
but if you can draw people from Windsor to come and get good Seco paint,
You're not.
But
you're not. You want people that are already in Tecumseh in the shop that are going to shop in Tecumseh to go to our office to buy the dollars so they can get a 20% discount. That's not that's not really helping our businesses. I mean, they already have that business.
Okay, but I will tell you guys that Three Lambs is the only place here in Windsor, Essex.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Walmart. So she is bringing people. I've had people, even from Walkerville BIA, say, I'm here to buy Tecumseh dollars because I've got to buy a new car seat.
Yep, I understand.
Customers are not just from Tecumseh; they're coming from all over Windsor, Essex.
I understand Mike's point, which is it's really the business owner needs to use some discretion in how they promote them, because what Mike is saying is if you're just promoting to people that are already your customers, well, that's great for the business and they're saying, hey, I can save you 20%, go get dollars. That's not the ultimate goal for us. It's to bring in new business to help those savings go along. If it was the same people that are already constantly going there, then, it's difficult. That's why I think it's important to review. Yeah, Jules, I don't disagree with you. The more the business is promoted as well, but just with anything, I just think sometimes it's discretion, but yes, if every customer who's already shopping at these places we're the only ones buying them, then, we're in trouble, but at least we're still giving a discount to people that are shopping local, but that's not the goal.
I'm agreeing with Mike. What I'm saying is we need to look at this and show the business owners how to draw new clients from Windsor and from outside Tecumseh by using that promotion.
Oh, we got to maybe give them marketing material.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm trying to say, yeah, I don't want.
I agree with that. I think that's a good idea.
So learn her method, use the tactic, but to draw new clients from outside.
It'd be nice to even see our members sharing those posts that we put up about Tecumseh dollars, because that's a great way to say to people, hey, right, and get that message shared. And so, yeah, I don't disagree. I think the first goal really needs to be, we need more businesses accepting them. With a membership as large as we have, our list is still fairly small, and it'd be nice to see more members involved in the program. But one step at a time. I'm happy with the way things are going in the direction. If we start looking at those monthly reports, it'll give us some more feedback. Yeah, and
So
I'll even see what I can do, get through social media interaction. You know, sometimes the questions we ask on those Freebie Fridays give us some insight, just like we saw for people like, who would you shop, you know, where would you shop in Tecumseh? And we saw a lot of businesses come up. So sometimes we could use that kind of post for some insight as well.
we can always, I wonder, are we allowed to, from the Tecumseh Dollars or from the BIA site, are we allowed to promote, like, it wouldn't be right to promote certain businesses. So say, for example, promote, like, go on BIA site and say, why not shop at Graham's or at Home Hardware for your paint instead of Home Depot? Come to Tecumseh, use Tecumseh Dollars. Because now we're just talking about.
I wouldn't be specific through by members. You don't want to miss anybody. You don't want to, you know, but again, that's what we're doing now is promoting. Every time I put it on there, I put that link from the website, see who's, and I remind them if I say Tecumseh Dollars, what's the Tecumseh dollar, right? So it's just that education piece.
Okay, we just got to think about using Three Lambs' tactic as a good lesson.
Three Lambs is a unique concept, and it's because they are unique in their business, right?
Yeah.
So,
But
and I
how
don't mean
can
that
we-
that's not capable everywhere, but yeah, Three Lambs is, as Paula said, a little different. So they bring in people from all over anyhow. But I don't disagree. We can, you know, use that
But
concept. And if the businesses were promoting them, that would be great.
Yeah, it's a lesson.
Okay, moving
and
on.
And kudos to her for thinking about it too.
Oh, for sure. But, you know, she's, you know, she's understands the marketing and the value of that. And I know she's been one from the get-go with COVID who's reached out to Paula, who's been looking for opportunities to, you know, figure out how to hit the ground running through this. So again, same thing. Good for her for taking every opportunity she can to get people in her door. Are there any committees that we're missing, Paula? I don't think so on my notes.
Nope.
Okay.
We're good.
Thank you. Moving on to unfinished business. I have updated you guys already on where we are and the coordinator position. Paula will chat too. The MOU deferred at this time, and same thing with strategic plans and wayfinding signage beautification project. While I say those things are deferred, again, you know, I do look forward to having some funds and looking at what we could do for beautification projects. And I still do want to come up with a strategic plan, kind of in the works of some of those things and really nailing down. And then we got hit with this. So those are just continued deferred items simply because we're not in a position to kind of know what's next with some other things, right? So let's keep those on the list.
And it's just mentioning that there might, I can connect with either our, you know, director of parks or even the CAO, right? Just to, you know, the BIA and beautification is above and beyond what the town, you know, does, but
Yeah.
you know, they may have some ideas, or if there's something, if again, if we're looking for ideas, maybe there are some, you know, complementary products or projects, or you know, something that they have in mind. But
Yeah.
I can reach out and just, you know, kind of pick their brain. And again, to any of the other directors, if there's something, you know, you're out and about and you see something in, you know, another area, you know, we always kind of say like Walkerville or Kingsville, or you know, not many of us are traveling these days, but if you see something and say, hey, you know what, that would be really cool in Tecumseh, whether it be, you know, Main Street, down Les Bronx, something, you know, feel free to bring it forward, right? Because if there are going to be some funds or, you know, some sort of project that we want to put together, you know, we can throw the ideas on the table.
Absolutely.
I think
Yes.
2 or 3 meetings ago, it was brought up about the bus stop. That's right, of the BIA office. And I sent an email to Bill and to Paul. Of course, then, you know, COVID started. So maybe you can bring that up, because after they do put in the sewer system, right? I think they're going to tear up a few things. So maybe that could be a project that the BIA could get into is, fixing up that bus stop.
Yeah, I can ask, I know, a while ago when, solar and all that kind of stuff was hot, there were some, and I think Windsor had put in some solar bus stops or, some upgraded bus stops. We just had, I think, Unconquered Sun close. I can't recall if they were doing, any of them, but I think there's another company in Windsor that does those as well. And Andrew being at the city, he may be aware, but I'll follow up with Paul on that to see what it might be that that would involve.
Oh, Mike.
And
Mike's got a
Mike,
cool
you're in San
background.
Francisco.
Yeah, sorry, my laptop died, so I'm on my iPhone now.
That's great.
We don't have the
Ryan.
bike racks in the parquet yet either.
Or say that again.
I think
The bike rack in the parquet.
Okay.
But yeah, Brian, I think that would be great to see what the town might be working on. And Paula, thank you for bringing that up because that was my next thing. For me, some initiatives that I was still passionate about was looking at what we could do with that bus stop. It's right in front of our property, right downtown and in rough shape. So I'd love to look at, supporting that. One of the things a few years back that we looked at that I still love talking about other BIAs, it's to me, these are just, but I think we looked into it and the town wasn't interested, but they, Ottawa's got all the painted garbage cans. Love that. I'd love to look at maybe murals and some, what can we do? The problem is I know when it's on town property, it's a little more difficult. So I like some of those initiatives. I love what we see trending in some of those kind of urban BIAs. I get a lot of that is working with the town. And if I'm not mistaken, Paula, was that we looked into that garbage painting thing, didn't we?
Yes. Yeah, I went to Kirby about it and it was.
So I know that might not be the ideal thing, but it was some stuff like that. And maybe consider, what can we do with the town? What can we do? What are we seeing on private property? We might be able to work with some of our private property owners to do some interesting stuff. Food for thought, but yeah, Brian nailed it. Please, if you guys see something, come across something, those are the things that we can still strategically plan for. It's tough with our events. It's tough a little bit with marketing and support in those ways, but coming up with some of those beautification projects, thinking about some unique things or ways that we can continue to spice up Tecumseh.
Yep. And, I think we're in this unique time where we've got a fantastic plan for the CIP. It's coming. And to go ahead and do something before that is completed, right? It's, do you wait or do you do it early? You'd hate to, do something and it be a waste. So we're kind of in that odd time right now as well, but
I know, I agree with that. It's just tough because we've been in that odd time with the CIP for a little while now, and I'm certain it's still a little while to come. And so you're right, but what can you do? Or if you're going to do stuff on Main or that are included in the CIP, are they things that would be able to be incorporated afterwards or moved or used? I'm certain if we could look at a bus stop option, that might be something that can still be relocated if necessary. But yeah, I know it's a strange time with that because we're kind of waiting and you don't want money to go to waste if it doesn't work with the CIP plan, but I'm not sure when that plan is coming to fruition. Okay. Anybody got anything for new business? That was easy. Anything else we want to discuss that I may be missing? Paula, do you have anything before we adjourn?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't know if there was any questions about the budget versus actual report. Okay, that's it. I don't have anything else.
All right, in that case, guys, wow, it's 20 after 7. Somehow this was one of the quickest meetings we've ever had. Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Who motioned? Was that Jules?
That was Jules.
Okay, and seconded by Brian, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, guys. I'll keep you posted on everything happening.
Okay, all right, have a
Thank
great
you.
night.
I will touch base with you in the AM.
Okay,
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
bye.